Well, all right, you guys, it is time for what I know is going to be a super terrific, awesome, exciting episode of Trail Camera Pickup. I am calling this one, Get Right Back Up on the Horse Trail Camera Pickup. Because as I mentioned in a couple of my last videos, I put a camera out here on January the 30th on this tree right here, and somebody stole it. I just had it overlooking this little, what doesn't look like much of a trail now, but back in January in the wintertime, none of these tall grasses were here, and it was right after the big fire that we had not too long ago, and a lot of this stuff was cleared out. So this was a nice trail right here that I was hoping was going to be the key to getting some Florida panthers walking through here. And I had the camera set up on that tree right there, came in and checked it in February, and it was gone. So I didn't hesitate, went right back onto Amazon, bought me another Browning Recon Force Advantage camera, came back and put it back down here again, but obviously not in the same spot or even on these trails here, because at the time I saw what looked like some four-wheeler tracks coming through here, and talking to some of the park rangers, they say that, you know, the guys know they're not supposed to be in here on the four-wheelers, so they take any trail cameras that they see because they're just destroying the evidence of them in here doing something they shouldn't be doing. So enough about that. Let's go pick up this camera. Got it set in a nice swampy area. It was dry for a while, and then it got wet for a while. So we're gonna get a good variety of critters, I hope. Let's go see if we can find it and see what we get. All right, we got 0.15 miles to get to this camera. We had to make a little pit stop. And by pit stop, I mean a 3-hour photo session with that guy. Oh yeah. This is one of my favorite ghost orchids. I found it in 2017. So I've been coming to it for 5 years, and it's had a flower every year. So this has been one of my favorite ghost orchids. Unfortunately, you see the tree that it's on, it already broke off up there. It's been leaning like this since I found it 5 years ago, but now it's so rotten down here that it's almost hollow. There's another plant right there. There's quite a few of them on this tree. All up here, these are all ghost orchid plants. But unfortunately, I think that thing's getting ready to snap off any day now. That's going to be a shame, because that's definitely one of my favorite ghost orchids of all time. It's perfect height, perfect flower every year. So I'm hoping it'll hang on there for maybe another year or two. Well, let's go. 0.15 miles through this junk. Oh man. Oh, but wait. Oh snap. You guys have seen that one before. That's the one I call the late bloomer. It's always one of the last ones of the year to have a flower. These have actually been here for the last 2 weeks, but they still look good. It's got that little spike coming off right there, so I'm hoping, well, with those two flowers, if they don't get pollinated, that little spike doesn't develop there, because I'm tired of coming out here. All right, let's go. 0.15 miles. Whew. All right, fast forward, I think 3 weeks into the future. Today is Saturday, September the 11th, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update. Here's a ghost orchid that I just showed you, and it got pregnant. That's a seed pod right there. Got pollinated by a moth. That seed pod will turn into what looks like a vanilla bean. Take about 6, 7, 8 months, and it'll swell up and break open, and all the little baby ghost orchid seeds will be flying through the air here, hopefully. So I just wanted to give you a quick update. Hopefully this tree will stay here long enough for it to spread the seeds all over the place. But that's pretty cool. And then my other worst fear that I mentioned, this guy over here that I call the late bloomer. I walked around the corner here, and sure enough, turned into another little bud. So that one will probably open not next weekend, but the weekend after. I may or may not come back down here because I'm just tired, and the mosquitoes. I just had a good bear encounter about a half an hour ago, right out there in the middle of the swamp. There's a bear coming right at me in the water. It's right there. Oh, it's a bear. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's a bear. That was awesome. So I've pretty much had it with the mosquitoes and the bears. But knowing me, I will probably be back in a couple weeks to check on that guy. So today's September the 11th, so it's probably going to be September 20 something, and that flower's still going to be there. So I'll probably come check it out. All right, let's get back to the video. Well, all right, you guys, one more trip forward in time here. Today is Saturday, September the 25th, and you knew I had to come back down here and check on my little buddy. This is the one I call the late bloomer. I was here 2 weeks ago when that was just a little bud on the end of that spike, and you can see what came out of it. It's the perfect flower. Glad I came back down. I couldn't live with myself all winter if I didn't come back down here and check on it. This is the one that always has the last flower of the year. I think in 2017 it was September the 4th. And then a couple years after that, I think it was September the 7th one year. And then September the 8th the next year. Always the last flower of the season. September 25th today. By far the latest I've ever seen a ghost orchid flower down here. So this is definitely a unique plant. I'm not going to say anything, but there is another little spike coming out right there, so I don't know what's up with that, but I'm not coming back down here again. I'm just going to let her do her thing. All right, buddy, I'll see you next September. Oh. All right, the next scene you're going to see is me picking up this camera, which I did more than a month ago, but I had to come back down here and keep giving you guys updates on that ghost orchid. So I'm going to go get this camera. I already got this video 90% edited on my computer at home, so I know what I got. So let's go see what we get. All right, we got 45 feet right over here to our left. I'm starting to get a little nervous. I hope I put this camera up high enough to stay up out of the water. I got it right on the edge of a really nice slough in here. I think we should be okay. Oh yeah, whew, I see the camera. Sweet. Whew. Oh, barely. Another month, this thing might have been underwater. There she is right there. Hey buddy, are you working? Oh man. You can see right through here, there's just a really pretty sloughy area. During the spring and early summer, this is all bone dry in here. There's a little depression, or a big depression, in the very center of this that has water in it pretty much year round. So there's raccoons in here feeding on whatever's in the water. Some bears, deer. I have come and checked this camera a few times, as always, and I know that we've got a lot of good action on it. So that slough we were just in is a few hundred yards that way, and then you got that slough behind us that we just saw, and then right through here is a trail that these animals are using to get from one to the other. So that's pretty good. But I don't know if I have a dry spot to put all my gear, but we'll go ahead and we'll open that thing up, see if it's still working. Oh man. Alright guys, you can see I got smart. I took a Sharpie and I wrote the key number on there, so I don't have to play key roulette with one of my many keys on my keychain. So that makes it a little easier. Oh, man. Alright, I'm just going to let you guys feel the drama like I do. Oh man, cross your fingers. Oh yeah, it's working. Sweet. 53 videos. That's good. I think the last time I checked it, it was on June the 20th. So almost 2 months ago. And I know soon after then is when all this water filled up. So we shouldn't have had too many videos when all this water fills up, because the only thing that's in here is probably raccoons and maybe an otter. That'd be pretty cool. Let's go through. Oh, there's a deer right there. Go through a few of these. You can see when I put it out right there, it was still dry in here. And then there started to get water, and you can see it's just a bunch of night videos with raccoons. Mostly. Gotta expect that. Oh man. But I do know in the few months that I had it here, and when I came and checked it, did get a few bears, good amount of deer, a couple bobcats, some hawks and owls and other birds. So this is a good spot. So we're gonna go put that SD card on the computer and see what we get if I make it home, because I'm too tired. Alright, this looks like it could be a great spot. There's a big slough behind us here. There's another nice slough about 100, 200 yards that way. There's a nice trail right through here, so I'm hoping these animals are using this trail to get from one slough to the other. Today is Saturday, March the 27th. I'm going to let you sit out here a while, so I'll probably come back and pick you up sometime in May. Good luck. here is a trail that these animals are using to get from one to the other. So that's pretty good. But I don't know if I have a dry spot to put all my gear. But we'll go ahead and we'll open that thing up, see if it's still working. Well, as I was expecting, I knew this was going to be a pretty good spot with the slough in there and the one behind us. I knew the animals were going to be walking through here, going from one to the other. It's pretty neat to see those raccoons hunting. Those little guys are lizard assassins, climbing trees and catching those guys. That gator that walked across here was pretty cool. He's probably sitting right over there watching me right now. But those deer in here are pretty neat. Bobcats. When the water rose up, it was neat to see the raccoons kind of change their tactics, going from the lizards to crawdads, and then you get those other birds in here feeding on whatever's in here. So this was a pretty good spot. I might come back and put a camera here again, because the one really good thing about this spot is there are no humans out here, because I am way out in the junk. But it was a good spot. Might come back here again. I hear some rain in the distance, so I'm gonna get out of here. But thanks for watching, you guys. Whew, this water feels good.